Okay. So we're recording, and so all we wanted to do with this, and we want to try to do one or two of these a month. I don't want to bombard you, and of course, if you are not interested in whatever the topic is, you don't have to participate. But what we want to do is we want to really, Doug and I really want to, support you in every way we can. And if there's ever a way we're not supporting you that you need it or think of it, please let us know so that we can do that. But we have invested in a CRM that is specifically for our whole RevShare group, all of our business partners within EXP. And that's to reach out to you. And we're reaching out to you through an email that you should be getting. If you're not getting it, let me know so we can make sure that's happening. And it may be going into your spam, you don't even know it. And we're also doing a broadcast text, and you have to allow that to happen. And I hope you'll always allow that, because we're never going to spam or, send stuff that's not worth it to you. Just we want to really connect and help everybody grow. And so we're going to do, like 2 of these a month on some topic that's really important to everybody. And always feel free to suggest things as well. And we're going to record this so that you can go back and listen to it. But the purpose of today was to recap. Gosh, I'm admitting so many people here. It's taking over. The purpose of today is to recap what happened last week at Shareholders, the conference. I have to say, of all I've been to, and I think I've been to 7 or 8 of them now over the years.
I could, but before I do so, maybe you might be able to help, because we have a listing that's going live in Longleaf.
Actually, I'm going to mute all.
I'll
mute all right now for a second. Fred, mute your mic if you will, please. So anyway, I have to say, I think it was the best one yet. And that may be because I really applied myself. I really made sure I was taking notes and doing things and everything. But I've heard everybody say that too. Others say that's the best yet. So anyway, all we want to do here is just share with you our takeaways. So I don't know, does anyone want to start? I've got a bunch of pages, so I'm sure I'll duplicate whatever everybody else is saying, but anybody specifically you want to start? Doug, do you want to?
Doug, unmute your microphone.
Oh, sorry about that.
Unmute.
Thank you, Chris. Let me, he's probably trying to, let me unmute him. Ask Doug to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How many do we have on here, Chuck?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, but a lot, because I keep admitting. 43.
43 right now.
Nice. I'm not sure how many of you were at Shareholders. Love the tattoo story. I remember hearing that on the escalator too, Rob. And I commented that you and Hank had matching tattoos. So that's great. Love it. So, I mean, to Chuck's point, we really want to make sure that you guys are getting some value from us. So we're here for you. The Shareholders meeting was really good. It was very empowering. There was a lot of information. As you've all probably heard, AI is going to be taking over the world, it seems, in the next few days, if not years. So EXP is really focused on that, and they've created something called Luna, which you'll be hearing a lot about, and it is our own, I should say, AI system. And basically what they said is that it's a chat GPT support bot that EXP is going to provide support. And it's like having an expert to help us with all things about EXP. So it's going to be available in Workplace. You can search Luna in Workplace, and it can do things like give us buyer and seller scripts, anything EXP related, buyer and seller related. So EXP is putting a lot of money and energy and time behind this. And in fact, at our EXP Con in October, which hopefully y'all will be able to attend in Vegas, it is the theme of that is going to be AI. So it really is prevalent in our world today. And I think we all need to quickly learn as much as we can about it and jump on board. You can also find it in EXP World in the gear section. So if you have an opportunity, play around and see what you can learn about it. If you have questions, ask us. We may not know the answers, but we can find them. But I do think it's really important. This was something that was heavily talked about. And I know you have some thoughts on it too, Chuck.
Yeah, some of us sat in on a class last month that was done by our title company, and I'm going to go back and try to take some look at those notes, and we'll do a class on this next month for all of us. But what she used an example of, if you don't know what Chat GPT is yet, which is also going to be called Luna for EXP. Just think of it as Google, but it's quicker and faster and more direct, and without having to read something and then interpret it. So for example, she gave a really good example of, you're taking a listing and you want to write a description in 100 characters or less, maybe if you've got to use only that certain amount of space for your MLS or a platform or something. And you could say, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool with views of mountains, something like that. And you just write that, you say, write a brief description in 30 words or less, 100 characters or less, or whatever, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool and views. And in seconds, it spits out this beautiful paragraph using great adjectives. And then you could even say in a Southern drawl, and it would quote things, with the Southern drawl, y'all, and stuff like that, or, British accent. Like Chris has a beautiful British accent. It could say that, and might say old chap or whatever. So it's just really cool. And then also too, you could say, write a 30-point marketing plan for 123 Main Street, and it would spit it out. And then within like 30 seconds. And so what used to take us days or, hours or days or whatever to come up with something, you could do that. And so how powerful that would be to walk into a listing presentation and show your 30-point, presentation of what you're going to do for a listing, so that's just a variety. This morning, I wanted to say happy birthday to a 60-year-old friend of mine in a Southern drawl, because he's Southern like I am, and it just spit it out within seconds. And I posted it on his Facebook page, and then, you can just do all kinds of stuff with it. So I really advise y'all to look into it. I'm trying to look up what the link is real quick on it. I think it's like chat.openai.com, something like that. If you just Google Chat GPT, you'll come up with the login. It's real simple. You just log in, register, and you're set up and ready to go. And you just type in the space what it is you want. And it's only good up until, I think, 2020. So anything post that is not going to happen. Another example is maybe in a city or a specific neighborhood or area, you want, the statistics on something, or what's great about being in, Tampa, Florida, or something like that. And you just type it in and it'll give you a whole history. So it's amazing. I really advise everybody to do it today after this call, log into it, set it up, because otherwise you'll forget about it, and you'll get to see what all it's doing.
Chuck, is this going to be exclusively for EXP agent, or all?
Yes, the Luna will be exclusively to EXP. Yes. Anything else, Doug?
I posted it in the chat. It is chat.openai. So it's there if you guys all want to look at it. You can
good.
Sign it up after. No, I think that sums it up for Luna. I mean, I think it's interesting. I feel like it's smarter than everybody, and so it'll be interesting to see as we move forward how progressive it becomes.
Great. Any other slides?
Yes, of course. Let's see. Let's see. Go ahead, Chris. You're going to just go through. What do we have? Let's see if there's stuff that we want to talk about.
Okay, you got this one, 22 financial highlights.
Oh, you know what? Go to the EXP slide, because that relates to what we're talking about now.
Which one?
And Wendy made a comment in the chat, which kind of relates to that. So there's the EXP slide.
These are the only ones.
All right.
Go ahead and talk about that one while you got it there.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I sent you, hang on. Bear with me.
Well,
I didn't want to get into real grader yet.
Oh, okay.
We can move on. We can move on. The EXP slide. So basically, Glenn Sanford put into Chat GPT EXP, and then it spit out all the information. And I just, let me resend the slide to Chris and we can add it. Sorry.
That was really cool because he asked, what is EXP Realty or something like that? And it spit out this little flow chart that was really great.
Bear with us, guys. Sorry, technical difficulties. All right, Chris, it's in our group chat. I don't know how quickly you can add it to your screen.
I got it.
Cool.
Give me 1 second.
In case y'all don't know, so Chris Hack is on our team and helps facilitate everything and help us with all of our stuff and keep us looking good. And he's the smart brains behind My Property Experts and Magnetic Wealth Experts.
Yeah.
Wendy, are you there? Wendy Wilkins?
Yes, yes.
Did you want to comment on what you just posted in the
Oh,
chat?
yeah. I mean, just simply that that's what excited me with the Chat GPT. Someone posted, and it was sort of in real time, asking Chat GPT, why join EXP? And it just spat out like so quickly about 20, 30 things that are great about EXP. It was just really impressive. Yeah.
That makes it easier for us when we're trying to attract agents, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because it also shows, like, you could sort of do it in real time, try it yourself. And then if you're having a coffee with someone, you can show them that, wow, we're technology forward, because even Chat GPT thinks so,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll add to that since we're talking about attraction. One thing I learned, and you know what, you just pick up on so many things. And so I jotted this down, that in 2009, it was the year of virtual startups. Uber, Venmo, Airbnb, all of these companies got started or started taking a really strong presence because of the recession, as well as EXP. And so it's kind of like the person speaking said, would you rather own Airbnb or a Best Western? And so that's such a great thing to internalize. I don't know how you'd want to use it in a presentation, but do you want to be with a company that's been around forever, and we know all of those names, or with EXP that's so going forward and growing exponentially? And if Venmo started in 2009, so did EXP. I just thought it was a great correlation.
I'd be curious, Suzanne, you commented just watch copyright stuff. Is there something that you've heard about that you might want to share with us?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, just that the legislature is actually really digging into this piece, and
We're losing you, unfortunately.
She's driving.
Sorry,
So.
guys. Sorry, I'm in a bad phone area. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
So I think I know where you're going with it. So copyright, you just got to watch, that you're not using something that's copyrighted in the wrong way, or not giving, credit to that or something. So just be aware of it. So when you type in Chat GPT, it'll throw out, whatever, and then you can read it and you can edit it. You don't have to use it exactly the way it is. So you can edit and tweak it, and of course, observe all copyrights, infringements, and everything. So there's that screen, Doug, you were talking about.
Yeah, so basically Glenn Sanford, when he was speaking about this, he said that, he typed in, or somebody did in his team, EXP into Chat GPT, and this is what it came back with, which I thought was pretty fascinating and interesting, and really on point. If you just you can quickly glance through this. And I think this is something that's super useful as we're trying to attract agents and promote EXP. The entrepreneurial spirit, exponential growth, progressive technology. I mean, that is all on point. And then realty revolutionary approach, empowering agents, agent-centric focus, learning and collaboration, transparent culture, and youthful energy. I like the youthful energy part. So I think this is a really useful slide and something that can be used if y'all are out there trying to attract agents and want to talk about how progressive we are with this new Luna happening and AI and ChatGPT. Everybody seems to want to talk about it. So I would say educate yourselves as much as you can on it. And again, let us know if you have any questions and we can help you find answers as well.
I'm pretty sure this slide, and Chuck, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the slide, if that's the slide that you're reading, that's the one that's on the screen right now.
Yeah, that is
an old slide from EXP advertising. I'm pretty sure I saw it when I first came on.
interesting. I'd be curious to know because Glenn
So-
pretty clear that they typed in. Now maybe they typed it in back when ChatGPT was just starting. I don't know.
No idea. No idea, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that slide before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true, but I think that it still applies. It's kind of a timeless slide because it says youthful energy, transparent.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no,
No,
100%.
that's not the issue. I'm speaking more to the copyright point.
Oh,
Is the AI is pulling this information from somewhere. And so
Right.
that's where the caution comes from, is check your source, find out where it came from, do
Oh,
any
right.
background you can so you don't create a problem for yourself.
Right.
Because you
Yeah.
don't want to end up copying some other realtor's stuff either.
No,
I
true.
mean, that's
True.
all. That's all. It's because it's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, this is awesome what AI is doing. It's fabulous.
Very
But
good.
just be careful.
Very good point. And I would also say too, where you really, I mean, you got to watch it. Yes. And I want to put that blanket, transparent thing in there, but where you really got to watch it, especially is if you're going to print it, and then distribute it, and then it gets out there, and who's the ones that are going to turn you in or really go after you? It's your competition that you've pissed off, at some point. So otherwise, if you're using it just on a personal one-on-one discussing with someone, obviously that's not as big of a deal. But if you're printing it or posting it on social media, all that kind of stuff, you got to watch it, because that's where people are going to go after you. And of course, you want to do things the right way, of course. Okay, Doug, anything else?
Absolutely. No, I think we can move on from this topic unless anybody has any questions. Okay, I think why don't we move on to Real Grader, because I'm pretty fascinated by that, and I know you are too, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that.
Do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, so everybody should. So Real Grader is a company, it's a third party, but they are giving every EXP agent, without joining anything, without paying for anything, you're getting an electronic business card, to use. And so we'll supply that link later. I don't have it. Or actually, Chris, while we're talking, maybe you could go in workplace and a tractologist and click in there. Dave Gagnon posted it. And everybody on this call, if you're not on Workplace, highly recommend you get in there. And there's a group called a tractologist, and that's from Doug's and my sponsor, Dave Gagnon, and he posted that in there. And that's a good group to watch and follow. But anyway, so it's a free instant electronic business card, and that you can share with people. And then of course, by a paid version, you can upgrade it to other things. But I, personally, Doug and mine both, our degrees are in marketing. And I will tell you, I never use an actual business card. And probably the only times I really lose out is if somebody is really maybe older and wants that card to hold in their hand. But I don't do it because I'd rather get the other person's information right away and not just give my card out and they go home and throw it away or get it in a washing machine or whatever. So this card is so powerful. And the fact that we're a virtual company, a technology company, is even more reason to use it. So it's free, and it gives you, you can text it to people. I think there's even a QR code on there where they could even, take a picture of it and do things with it. And then it links to your social media platforms. And then this company, Real Grader, Doug, you want to talk about it, or you want me to go on?
You can go on. I mean, you can go on.
So Real Grader, I just happened to stumble in it, the breakout session on it, and it was a paid sponsor, but it just attracted me because it said, talked about Google and stuff. So basically what it is they, if you Google your name, and you can't Google, I learned this too, you can't Google your name from your own computer because your computer is biased basically from everything you researched and set up. So if you go to someone else's computer and Google your name, it might be interesting to see what comes up, but they will make sure you show up on all of these platforms. And YouTube actually is the #2 searching platform in existence right now. Of course, Google's #1, but they will make sure you are set up on all of these platforms. And so that when people, Google your name, they'll see that. They'll also help you get set up for testimonials, where you can send a link to 3 different things, Google, Zillow, and something else, I can't remember, where your clients can give a testimonial, and then it's put in there. And what's really cool about that is you can, #1, before you go on a listing presentation, send your Instagram or your instant, whatever it's called, business card, electronic business card, to your client to let them know you're coming. And then I thought about, when you go to a listing presentation and they say, oh, I'm talking to 2 or 3 other realtors, I thought it's pretty powerful to say, oh, well, Google me and see what all I'm, connected to and how I market your property, and maybe Google the other 2 people, because 9 times out of 10, they'll probably get a grade of about 40%, is what he was saying. Most agents are 30 or 40%. And that'll give you instant credibility right there. And so Doug and I signed up for it, as well as a few others. I know Denise did, I think Beth did. And it was about $1,400, which is, sounds like a lot maybe, but if it really does what it should, I think it's very well worth it. And so at minimum though, for free, take advantage of doing the instant business card that you can use all the time.
Also, Chuck, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, I signed up for it as well, and it was interesting. You think you're really updated in all your platforms like this, but come to find out, like when I Googled myself, I was still at Keller Williams Sunset, and they're going to go in there and clean all that up. And so that was another really great thing, because you don't realize that you go, I don't know when the last time anyone Googled themselves, but some of these sites I am showing 10 years ago. And so I want to show that EXP, and I want that to be the #1 to pop up. And this is something that they're going to be doing and working with. I think the other thing, if I'm correct, Chuck, if we bought the service, but on our digital card, it actually has our links to our different like our YouTube channel, or our LinkedIn, or all that. So it would be on that card. So when you go to your clients, they see your digital card and they can click on your information and they go, wow, he's everywhere. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, thank you for pointing all that out. And that is so true. And I haven't signed up for the free one because Doug and I already signed up for a call to do the whole thing. So I didn't want to, like kind of mess it up or whatever. But I really encourage everybody, before you sign up for this, or if you're not going to sign up for it, at least do the free version of the card, because that's amazing. And I know YouTube, sounds like, oh gosh, I don't want to do videos, but a lot of us do little videos, and you just got to actually put them on your YouTube channel. And I think if you loaded, 5 or 10, it just looks like you got a bunch, and they're not going to go look and see if you got 30 or 40. But I would think any listing we've had, or any sale you've had, shoot a little video on your iPhone and then load it on a YouTube channel and connect it on there. And LinkedIn is a huge resource, he said. I remember, for being on there. So make sure you have a bio on LinkedIn, and also too, ChatGPT. You can say, write a bio on me. In fact, he said that's what they use, is ChatGPT to write bios. So use that to write your bio. Just put your little stats in there and let it come up with a paragraph on you.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Tammy Taylor had commented that she signed up for it last year after Summit, and it was a game changer. So Tammy, maybe you can tell us your thoughts on this.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, let me get on my little video. I've got my clothes from getting ready for an open, broker's open tomorrow. Yeah, I signed up for it last year. Very professional. The group set an appointment for me. It was about an hour and a half. I was a new agent, so I didn't have a lot of backup stuff to get rid of, but they seamlessly took my bio and my picture and put it on every single platform out there. And it was a game changer for me, because I'm not completely technologically savvy. So for them to come in and fully optimize to when people search my name, I come up, over and not, 2 or 3 pages down on the Google search. It was a game changer. And I've had that contact card. It's right there, an icon on my, or an app on my phone. And I just shoot it out to whoever. It really, really was phenomenal. So.
Oh, good. Well, that's very helpful to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited about it because I haven't even looked, but I'm sure there's so much old stuff in there. I don't even want to know. It's great.
Anything else, Doug?
No, I mean, unless anybody has any questions on this, I think we can move forward.
Denise, what about you? Any comments about your takeaway from shareholders?
From the Real Grader, yeah, I mean, if you're in the business for, like Robert said, you have old companies and old stuff. You can't, for the $1,300 or $1,400, whatever we paid, you're not going to be able to do that if you equate the hours that you would do to clean all that stuff up and capture everything and link it together. You couldn't get a better deal than that, honestly. And as you know, my name is going to change, so everything is rebranding. So for me, I thought it was a double deal.
I just remembered one thing I learned from that. I was looking at my notes. If you go on Zillow and see what your sales are, because actually it happened when Denise was in the hot seat there as an example. And so, she was up there and I think it was homes.com and it said, oh, you've got 29 sales, and the presenter was congratulating her. And she goes, that's wrong, it's double. And so also on Zillow, I looked on Zillow and it showed sales for me like 5 years ago. And so you can actually go in on Zillow, he said, and update your sales, maybe the other platforms too, even if you're not a member, or maybe you have to sign up or something. But that's so important because our clients are Googling us and comparing us to other people. And I think it's it's a free thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Denise, what else other than this class, what else from shareholders did you take away?
Oh, Chuck, I have 2 books of notes. I honestly, this is the 3rd convention I've been to with EXP, and it was the most fruitful, most engaging, new information, really for an experienced agent and for new agents equally. Everybody was able to take away from everything, but there were, I really have to sit down and type out a full synopsis of my takeaways because I could talk for hours. Some of the best things, though, I have to say, Renee Funk had a great, are we getting off Real Grader now, or are we?
Let me just finish, because I see a couple of comments. So let me just
stay on Real Grader.
And we'll finish it. So Jason Cochran, it's $1,396. It's a one-time fee. I believe that is the convention price. So when you go in, just tell them that. If you have any issues, I have the name and number of the speaker that did our program. Just reach out to me and I can help you with that. Meredith, again, it is one time. There is an annual fee of $99 for a special digital card, if you will. But then I believe there's a free version. So they can explain that to you. But if we have the information here. So if you need a deeper dive, just reach out to us and we'll help you.
Hello.
Okay, go on, Denise. Sorry.
No worries. Renee Funk had some really great tips that can be used for.
What's up, Brent? How are you? Koya. Oh, good. Lita, are you on a tractor? Look like you're on.
I'm trying to figure out who that is.
Mail truck. All right, we got some dedicated. All right, I like that. I'm gonna assume you're trying to go full time in real estate.
That's time management. Absolutely. 2 calls at once.
Awesome. I love the dedication.
Recruiting.
See,
somebody's
you
on a
need to
tractor.
be in a mail truck right now, and if you can make it to the call, there's no reason anybody else can. What's up, Allison? What's up, Evan?
Hey.
Michael, hello.
I'm trying to figure out who that is, and I can't.
I feel like it's on a second call.
Evan.
Alyssa, I always pick on the people on camera first, right? I know y'all are the,
Let's listen, maybe we'll get to
crazy
learn
ones.
something.
We can learn something.
Everyone
It
else,
says-
I'm always a little skeptical.
It says at the
of,
top
all
who's
right, you know, 'cause
talking. It's
we are
Evan
talking
Zapp.
about video
Christopher
tonight, so
Hack.
the more of you that could be on video, always the better.
Oh, no,
Like
that's
to
his
see,
screen.
like
I'm
to see
sorry.
as many people as possible.
Hold on
So
a
let's
second.
see here.
No, it's definitely not Evan.
Okay, I just muted everyone. I'm assuming everybody can still hear me. I just muted everybody. So I'm not sure that's a Zoom overlay from something else. But if you will,
We can hear you.
okay, good. You can hear me. Okay, good. So if you want to speak, just unmute your mic. So Denise, I was going to say, maybe write up all those things, because I use that little notebook they put in our bag, and I was scribbling stuff all the time. And then last night I went in and really wrote down my notes. So maybe write all your notes up and send them to me, and then we can kind of put together a book of all of our notes.
That's what I was gonna suggest. There's still so much good stuff that came
Yeah.
out of it.
There was so much. There was so much. Okay.
Chuck, I have something that I'll share with the
good.
group
Yes, Bill, go ahead.
that I found very beneficial for those of us that, want to grow our rev share and create a legacy. That recruiting teams is a great way to do that. And the nugget that I took away from shareholders is that you don't have to do that recruitment alone. There's an entire organization that will actually help us recruit and onboard that team. So if you guys know of any teams that, anybody that's leading a team, and, you can get a few minutes with them, just spark some interest and turn them over to the growth team. And the first point of contact is growth.teams@exprealty.net.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we were sitting in the same session, even though I didn't even know it. It was so big, and I was on the other side of the room. So the point of that, what he's saying is, you want to bring in the expert in the beginning, and this is for teams or brokerages, small brokerages. And let me just say real quickly, if it's not a franchise, you're okay. But if it's a franchise brokerage, like, Century 21, Keller Williams, Remax,
Right.
Bank, all those have franchise rights and protections. And if you are going to speak to one of those, you need to make sure it's what they call their free look period. Otherwise, you'll be in what they call tortious interference, and you can go to jail for that. So reach out to me more directly if you have questions about how to approach a brokerage, and I'll remind you of that and talk with you more on that. But he's right. It's growth.team@exprealty.net. Was it team with an S or a plural or singular?
No, I wrote singular.
I did too. Growth.team@exprealty.net, and they will reach out to the person and help them a lot about their P&L. The person may not share their P&L with you or discuss those kinds of things, but the growth team will help do a comparison of their P&L with being of the EXP and help get the conversation started right. So that was really good. Anything else let's talk about attraction for a second, since we're on it. One phrase I learned that was good is, would it be worth 15 minutes of your time to learn how to be more profitable? And, and don't try to vomit EXP all over somebody initially. Try to set up maybe another time that you're going to really sit down with them. Brokers specifically, brokers are tired of doing it. They want out, and they also want to get to the next level. And attraction is always about deeper relationships. And we want to turn the broker back into being a leader and making money. Brokers are the brokest was kind of the phrase that was kind of going on with everybody talking about it. And agents don't understand the value the brokerage provides. And same goes with EXP too. So I thought those were all very good things. And are they motivated by money, people, or personal achievement? And just getting a conversation with people about that, because I think that's very important. Some are motivated by money. Some people are motivated, by other things. They're motivated by helping people. Who else? Maybe Rob or Craig Young.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
This was my first summit.
and it was spectacular. I came from another large broker in the last 3.5 years. I spent in leadership and recruiting, and the thing I saw, a couple things I'd written down is, one, the culture. When people talk about culture, it doesn't always show up, and it showed up clear and loud. Everybody there wants everybody to win. And anybody you talk to, and I met people from across, the world, really the globe. And the big thing is there's so much opportunity, and it's really figuring out what opportunities you want to go after, whether it's rev share or whether it's building up a big real estate business. But the other thing that was really neat for me is they talked about your emotional health, your physical health. They had a company called Viome there, and there's a lot of things tied in. And what that showed me is that they value each one of us in our overall, emotional, physical, financial health. They have a health insurance company. I mean, there's so many tools there. And if you're not leaning in, talk to your upline or somebody that's more familiar with it. And the two other things that I'll mention here is, if you didn't hear Ed Milet's speech, you've got to go on that video and hear it. That was just here. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. And it was really, really good about being the one that's going to change your life for you and generations to come. And the other thing that I heard, which was great, was we heard our CEO and founder say that he's never going to raise fees. What company have you ever been at? So when I look at those things, again, it's all about the agents. It's not just said, it's lived, breathed, and alive and well. So it was a fantastic experience.
That was a great summary. So Ed Milet, yeah, it's Ed Milet, M like Mary, Y-L-E-T-T, and he has a podcast. I highly recommend you check it out. And like you said, there wasn't a dry eye with the stories he would tell. And of course, that's what a motivational speaker does, right? But there was good content from that, and I think that I'm going to check out his podcast, his book. He's got a book that's really good. I think it's like add one more, something like that. It's I think it's just really something you should check out. And maybe you can relate, maybe you can't. There's always people that we relate to better than others. But it was really, he was really good. I was looking for my page that I wrote on him, because I had one thing. I love the one word he said, that when things are really horrible or great, it doesn't matter, and people ask you, you can say unbelievable, and that just can amount to anything. And he was talking about when his electricity was turned off and then his water was turned off, and people would say, how is it going? He'd say, unbelievable, you just would not believe it, and then go on. I thought it's also interesting. He said, two people who know, like, and trust each other want to do business together. And that's a very good point. You can leverage your business, but you can't leverage your relationships. And he also said, your health is your wealth. And to Craig's point, I actually started taking the Viome supplements about 3 months ago, or back in January. And after 2 months, I lost 10 pounds, and I wasn't even trying, because that's when I was having major back problems and I couldn't even move without being on a cane, basically. But I lost 10 pounds by just not eating foods that I shouldn't, and eating foods that I should, and taking the supplements. So just real quick, you're sent a test kit, and the kit, you give back some of your blood and saliva and a stool sample. I know it sounds gross, but anyway, you send that in, and then they formulate what your body needs for supplements. And it's really interesting because it's tailor-made to you. The packaging is beautiful. It looks like Apple products when they're sent to you, but it's a daily supplement and a little powder, and then a great app that tells you what foods to avoid. Mine was avoid farm-raised, salmon, but eat wild salmon. And my superfood is dark meat chicken, believe it or not, which of course I love, but you usually think white meat chicken. And Craig, my partner, not Craig Young on here, but Craig Van Skyke, his superfood is white meat chicken, not dark meat. So it's an app, and it tells you why you don't want to eat certain foods. It also tells you to leave certain foods out for 30 days. And I lost 10 pounds, and that was amazing. You're asking probably what the cost is. I think it's about $150 a month. And you say, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But hey, you go out and you have one martini. If you drink, it's $14, so, or if you go out and eat or whatever you do, 150 is nothing if it makes you feel better. and I did get more energy, and that was what I was after. So I love that your health is your wealth. And then the other thing that Ed said that I thought was great was change, which we all know that people hate change, but change is the instigation of opportunity. And I love that, you know. And then the other thing was, it's not whether you will win, it's just a matter of time. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard successful realtors say they almost stopped doing something, and then when they didn't, that's when it took off, like farming or marketing or whatever, and they just had to give it time. So Rob Tuff, what about you? Anything?
Yeah, I'm like Denise. I've got pages and pages, but the things that stick out the most for me, and bear with me, I caught a bug. Every time I go to a conference, I get sick. I think it's from shaking a lot of hands and hugs and all that stuff. But anyways, totally worth it. I'll be better maybe tomorrow or the next day or something like that. So it was totally worth it. The one phrase that really sticks out to me is that when I think it was Ed Mylett, he was talking about leadership, and he says, I know it was Ed Mylett. He was talking about leadership, and he says that ideas are caught, not taught. And the thinking is that even when dealing with children, or when it comes to downline or any leadership position, whether you're volunteering at the school or whatever, in a leadership position, don't tell people what to do. Show them through actions how to behave. In other words, if you really want to be a good leader, you should be at the gym or taking care of your health, or going out and doing the actions, as opposed to telling someone. We can tell people all day long, but your credibility comes from the actual actions that you take. So that one stuck with me, and has actually been really just in the back of my mind over the last couple of days. Am I really showing my children how I want them to behave? Am I showing my team how to become a leader? And so really impactful, and resonates with me. The other one that I heard, and I think this came from John Cheplack, was try to become someone's number two. Don't necessarily go after someone when either a buyer or a seller, or let's say a recruit. Don't go after them and sell to win the sale. Get yourself in a relationship position to be number two, because everyone is going to make a choice eventually, whether or not it's someone who's getting ready to buy or sell or whatever. Be the number two, so when they're, let's say they're already with KW or whatever, be their number two, because everyone gets fed up eventually, or whatever, gets frustrated. And then I think the third one that really made a huge impact with me was, if you struggle coming up with a big why, you know, I hear all this big why. I've heard it for years, and I don't have a big why. It's very hard for me to come up with, like, what is my big why? I could say my family or anything like that, but for me, I know that's horrible, but that does not motivate me. But to have a meaningful purpose really resonates with me. So my meaningful purpose is I want to serve people, and I want to be a leader. I want to show people how to become successful, and share with people some of the successes that I've had. So when it comes to success in life, I don't need a big why. What I need is a meaningful purpose, and my meaningful purpose is to help other people. So that's really those three areas that I took away from that.
That was what Ed said. I remember he said, we need people who are leaders to help people that have dreams, right? So that's kind of what you're talking about. You want to help people realize their dreams. And the other thing that Ed said that resonated with me is that, you know, we all struggle with pains, and we all have hardships in our lives, right? And some people just shrug their shoulders and give up. But he said, on the other side of that temporary pain, you'll have a new version of yourself, right? So wow. You persevere through the pain, and on the other side, there'll be growth. So just keep chugging on. Yeah, I think Ed Mylett also said, you're most grateful to help the people you need to be, or you used to be. You're the most grateful to help the people you used to be. I thought that was really good. And everybody wants in, they just don't know how to, you know? I thought that was good. Dave Fry, what about you? Anything?
Thanks. Number one, I think everybody's covered a lot of stuff. I think the biggest thing I always take back, because I always go back and forth, boy, do I have the time? Do I want to put out the expense? Blah, blah, blah. how incredibly important it is for me to get in that room. So that's one of them. Two was some other smaller stuff that I took out of it. There was one of the classes on social media, which hit me between the eyes. You know, we all do this great messaging, but at the end of it, I need to tell them what to do and how to do it. So at the end of each one, call me, text me, whatever it is, and give them the information to do it. So the call to action in it. And I notice I don't see a lot of that out there. Client quarterly events is what I wrote down, but the other thing I thought was really, and I can't remember the guy's name that Glenn, it was the last day where they did the kind of interview with it. Was it NPS surveys?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was absolutely fascinating to me. And it really did a lot to my business. And it was really about always doing those reviews to everyone and going for the 8s and 9s and the 10s. And the idea going back to we're not, that's what our company is being run off from. Not how do we create more profit at the end of the day, but how do we create 9s and 10s in all of these surveys, and knowing in the end that that is what makes us awesome and incredible and different, and to be able to put that into my business. So
yeah, let's talk about that for a second. And by the way, some of us paid for the VIP membership, which one of the perks of that is we get copies of recordings of certain sessions, and I'm sure the main sessions were recorded. I don't know about the breakouts, but so anybody that had the VIP, let me know when you get the link to that, or let's try to find out how to get all that. So the session he's talking about, the man's name is Fred Reichheld, and he's the one who developed the NPS Net Promoter System. And if you notice, occasionally you'll get a survey question from EXP, and it's just one question. It's not like 10 or 20 like some companies do, but the whole point of that system is like a one question thing. You know, what's your experience, or how likely would you be to refer someone to EXP? And so he was basically saying also do that, you know, with your clients, and just again, one question, not a bunch of them. But you know, the score you want is an 8, 9, or 10 is what you're looking for. Anything less than that is not good. It's not a score. And that person's name, like I said, is Fred Reichheld, and his book, I'm reading it right now. It's called Winning on Purpose. And I thought what was interesting in that comment, he said that he has tracked the companies that have used his system and that are on the stock market, and they are not worried about their P&L, so to speak. They're worried about how their clients, you know, see them. And he has tracked their stock portfolio, and those companies are doing outstandingly well as compared to people that do work on a P&L.
I wrote the same thing down. I wrote that down exactly. From an investment strategy, was phenomenal.
Yeah. And so, and Glenn even said that we had a former, and I think I knew who she was, but we had a former person on leadership that was always worried about P&L, and he told her, he said, don't worry about P&L. I want to know, you know, how everybody feels and the response we're getting from people. And she wasn't, she or he, whoever it was, wasn't there much longer, because they would not run with that idea. So this whole system, and it's called NPS, I think, sort of the Net Promoter System. And it's on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm sure you've all seen it. And it's important that we fill that out. And so the other person that's on the panel, and I can't remember his title, like COO or something. I know Doug met him personally. He said he gave specific examples of things that he has done that's come out of this for our company. And one is we wanted who to call for a problem. And that's how the agent concierge program came about, where you could get a question answered pretty much immediately. So that was a great session. And like I said, I'll see if I can get these recordings and then let everybody, you know, in on them if you're interested.
Also, Chuck, you know, on piggybacking that, they, you know, even Glenn was saying that, you know, people need to speak up, and he really goes through these comments from people that work with the company, and they implement it rather fast. They will really try to, and I was impressed that they really were trying to make us as agents, our experience even better with our company. I know sometimes we've lacked, but I think they're really, every day's improving because we're growing so fast, and I was impressed with that.
Yeah, and I can't remember, like I said, I can't remember that officer's name, but he said he wakes up every morning and that's the first thing he reads are the comments on those surveys, and he reads them every day. And then he gave specific examples of things that he's put in. Beth, are you still there? I was wondering what your takeaways were. Anyone else? I'm trying to go through and looking to see who I remember seeing there.
You know, Chuck, the other thing, one of the things that I thought was really I loved one of the, I know I keep harping on, I've told you this while I thought the diversity of everything and everyone in the company in every session was so many different perspectives, young, old, women, all ethnicities. It was just amazing to look out, and everybody was so up and so positive, and it was just really, I love that, and I thought that was really telling about our company, that how inclusive we are, and I thought that was really I was really impressed with that.
It was, and I'll just say this too. There were small booths of things to go by, and Robert didn't know about the app, the my.exprealty.com, and that's a great app. If you don't have it, it takes you right to your business, and you can see things that are going on in your business, kind of like a dashboard. But when you click on that, I remember I just noticed the last couple of days they put a new picture up, and it's like, an older guy, a younger guy, then a much younger, person is there too. All different people showing all the different cultures and people that are involved with EXP. I thought that was really good.
Hey, Chuck, would you mind, can you provide the slides for what you've shown us already, like Ed Milet and all that information? Is that something you can send over?
Yeah, we'll do that. And then, like I said, I think it'd be good if a few of us who took a lot of notes, maybe kind of summarize them and put them, because there's just so much to put with all this that was really, really good. One other thing I noticed in my notes here, I wrote down, have obsession to solve problems. And the bigger you think, the easier it is. Find the purpose. How are you serving others? How do I serve more people? Those are questions you should be asking. And the most important thing for people is autonomy. And I looked up the definition of that. Autonomy is about a person's ability to act on his or her own values and interest. And of course, there's more definitions, but and the triple bottom line was people, purpose, and prosperity. And so I just want to reiterate, in case you were late getting on the call, Doug and I, you're all part of our group. We're all part of each other's groups and everything, but Doug and I really want to bring as much value as we can to your business of anything we're seeing or anything we're experiencing. We've both been selling for many years. We've both been attracting for many years, and a lot of you have as well. And anything we can do to help each other, and that's the whole purpose of this. I hope you don't block our emails that come from us. And we're starting a group to put on Workplace of everyone that's in our group, that we can kind of go and celebrate and use resources and everything. It's going to be called Magnetic Wealth Experts, and you'll be getting more on that. But that's the email that these emails are coming from, info@Magnetic Wealth Experts. And even when we send those out, they even go into my own spam. So I have to keep pulling them out of spam. It's just crazy. And then we're using the broadcast texts, because a lot of times we don't see emails. I literally get 60 emails an hour because I used to be a team leader, and I get all kinds of stuff. And then I'm kind of FOMO. So I don't want to opt out of stuff because I want to see what everybody's doing. But I get so many emails, I don't see some important ones. And I tried to, flag them as VIP and all that kind of stuff. But we just want to keep in touch with everybody. So I don't want to be respectful of everybody's time. Is there anything else of those that went to shareholders that we didn't cover yet?
The one thing that I really liked, well, beside everything, but was this new program they have called My Link, My Lead.
Yes, talk about that.
Yeah, so that is going to be really cool. It's a way of doing a search on the My EXP or on exp.com website, which is the showcase IDX for the whole country. So you can do a search on there. Say I live in Florida, so say I did a search for beachfront condos in Florida, from 1 to 2 million or something. And then you can take that link and put it in your own personal portal that will brand it to you. And then you can post that online, wherever you want, to try to get maybe people from up north moving to Florida. If someone goes on the link and clicks on a house, if it's in your, it'll tell you what house. And if it's something in the area you work, you can claim the lead and you work it. But if it's in an area that you don't work, you can refer it. And then it automatically links you to the new referral form. So you just find the referring agent you want to send it to. That new referral form is really nice. It's not that paper one anymore where you got to chase all the broker emails. It automatically loads everything. And then it keeps the buyer's name blacked out until everybody signs it. It's real slick. But it's a great tool to get more leads and to stay in touch with your database if they're, looking at buying second homes in different parts of the country, to let them know that you can be, still their point contact for real estate anywhere. So, and it's a system, they've got a patent pending on it. So I think they're rolling it out right now to, I don't know if it's to the whole company, but it's, I think, to icons or something now, and then soon it'll be going to everybody, but it's awesome.
And what's the name of it again? MyLink? What?
MyLink, My Lead. And it's available through that EXP app, the My EXP app. Definitely get that app, because now there's more available in that app than just looking at the numbers. And I don't know if the numbers are correct on your volume. I know mine was definitely not, but I don't care about that. But for the tools, that's where the referral, the new referral form is going to be. And that's where you'll be able to go to the MyLink, My Lead and update you go and copy and paste from the exp.com website and paste it in this new MyLink, My Lead on the EXP app. And then it generates the personal one branded back to you, and all connects to KV Core, and it's just super slick. It's really good.
Yeah, and that app she's talking about, the My EXP, I think you just go to the App Store to do it, and it's just the X. It's the blue X, a little orange at the top part of it, but it's just a big X. I don't know if you can see my screen or not, but.
And one other new thing on that app is there's like a contact EXP logo. If you just like scroll through the icons on there, where it's a phone number where you can call and get a hold of someone live anytime. So some of the feedback that EXP gets is that some agents don't want to sign into the world to talk to a broker, or don't know where to get an answer for any random question. Now there's a phone number where you can call from your phone and talk to somebody.
Yeah, and speaking of on there, when you go on there on that app, it'll give your qualifications and different things, and at the bottom it says My Upline Partners, and our names are right there, and there's the little right there. You just click on the phone and it'll call me directly. Glenn Sanford is mine and Doug's sponsor way up. In fact, he's in our line for all of us, but he's up there, so you can just click on that phone and give him a call. So, and please, all of you, feel free to reach out to me or Doug specifically, and the others on here probably be very helpful too. They'd be wanting help, but anything you need to help you build your business, I mean, that's what we're here for. And Doug and I both have sold a lot of real estate, and then we've also attracted people. So whatever you want help with, that's what we're here for. So I know we've approached an hour here. Anything else before I haven't been watching the chat, I'm sorry. So hopefully there's not a question in there.
So honey, will you send out that stuff via like email, or you'll put it on the world, or?
Yeah, so Chris has taken down names of everybody that's on here, and we've also recorded this, so I'm going to look. So those specifically, they're on this call. We're going to send out a special email to you, and we'll have our slides, and we'll have the comments of these different things. I'll write up my notes for different stuff and the books that were suggested, and the speakers and everything. So anyone's on this call, I know you definitely are interested. So yeah. So
I have a couple of comments, just business wise. So a couple people on this call only have their first names. So I encourage everybody to list your first and last name on your Zoom if you're in a Zoom call. I think it's super important that people know who you are. And unfortunately, I don't know who that woman was that was last speaking, but hers says Zoom user.
Oh, there's Beth Rollerson.
Oh, Beth, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you, but yours says Zoom user. You might want to put your name there so that if you're on a Zoom call, people will know who you are. But I know Sean only has his first name, and Sonia only has a first name, if I'm not mistaken. Justinia has a first name. So it'd be helpful for us to have your last names, but more importantly, I think it's helpful for you as you go through doing Zoom calls to list your last name on here.
That's a good point. And some of these, if it's a first name, I can go in and look at the whole group and find them. Yes, but if you go by a nickname like I do, Chuck, it might show up as Charles, so I might not be able to find the person. But that's true. And then the people that sign in with just an iPhone, it says iPhone, there's no name to even try that.
Right.
So we'll do our best. And Suzanne was actually the one asking about if we're going to send out stuff too. So good to see you, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Good to be seen. Thanks, guys. Good to see you too. I
And
wish I could come
have-
down. Wish I was coming down there sooner so I could come play with you guys on. Is it tonight that you do your?
Yeah, tonight we have a happy hour for anybody that's in LA.
Yeah. Sorry, not here, not there
That's
yet.
tonight. And then you're coming up on a big birthday, I see. So I want to give you some ideas on that later.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you guys want to come up for my 60th birthday?
All getting
Come
there
on.
at some point. And if you're
Hey,
not,
you know, I don't,
congratulations.
and I don't look 60, I'm told anymore. So there you go.
No, you
And
don't.
I highly recommend the health choices for, like, I've lost 106 pounds, 107 pounds. I highly recommend that for a choice of living and clarity and business and self-esteem and everything you could possibly want from making healthy choices.
And you know what's
and
really
food
cool, real
choices.
quick, and then we'll end is Suzanne, I met her at a conference a few years ago. That's how we
Yep.
met, you know, just at
That's
a
right.
conference. And who would have known that that would come to the relationship we've had for several years now? What, like 5 or 6 years probably?
We just hit 4. Was 2018 is when I came in. So what is
Okay.
that?
I think,
Well, the end of 2018 is really 2019, I think.
and we actually met like a year or two before that. So,
Yeah, 17, I think, before, yeah.
all right, anybody have anything else you want to add?
Beth, thank you for updating that. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. Were you able to get the extra wristbands for your kids? You're muted. I can't hear you now.
I think she did. I think
Yeah, I got the extra wristbands and yeah, I lived in
Perfect.
Tampa. So I had my 16-year-old and a couple of his friends they told me that was the best night of theme park in their life. They just couldn't believe that they could walk right on the rides and eat free food. They were so
Oh,
excited.
good. Did Darren give them to you then?
I had feelers out to a couple people.
Oh,
So
okay, good. As long as you got them.
Yeah, I got them. Yeah.
Perfect.
Did you
Okay,
guys have fun?
good.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a great way to go and not have any lines and just be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to say is I highly recommend that you go to EXPCon. Like Doug said, it's going to be all about AI this year. It's in Las Vegas. It's October 2nd to the 6th. That's like a Monday through a Thursday, I think. I'm going in on the 1st on a Sunday and leaving on Friday morning. But it's really worth it. And if you are even thinking about it, I would also reserve your room, because what happens is the host hotel sells out, and you don't want to be stuck at another hotel in Vegas because it's a walk or a Uber ride or whatever to get over to the one. And it's a hassle. And so, and you can always, release your room if you're not going for some reason, but it's the best money you've spent. It really is. We got all this information from what we did. And you just, not to mention the people we met in other areas for referrals and stuff. Doug and I have always gotten several referrals over the years from different agents that we've met at these events. So it's you just got to plan for it. And if you put it in your calendar, it exists, as they say, and then you work around it, and it's great. I know some people couldn't go to this last one because it was like graduations and weddings and all kinds of stuff, but I really encourage you to go. All right, so everybody look out for the email that we'll be sending with all of this recap of everything. And thank you everyone for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
doing this, guys, so much.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
you all.
Yeah,
Have
bye-bye.
a productive day. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome.